this is going to be easy today. I'll put it like this, all right? We already know how the media is, okay? You see a lot of accusations towards the media about clickbaiting. You see how some just get into their fields. They're not actual journalists, who can be unbiased and still report facts. And you know how I feel about those type of things already. Now, for those who don't know how I feel that those accusations can become true at times when you go by individual basis when it comes to said site. Because, certain sites actually don't take the responsibility to cover and say, hey, look, this person is absolutely wrong. It's not just about their opinion on the issue. They're flat out wrong. They're flat out lying. That's what I'm going to show you today. Okay? Journalists who have to flat out lie in order to tell you how they feel because they're afraid of being exposed as people who don't play games. Alright? Or should I say, in this case, this game, Gundam Versus. And I'm going to show you the facts today. Okay? But we are going to cover all this. And like I said, you can probably see what it says in the header. You probably think I'm mad about this. I'm not mad. It's actually really funny. Because when you catch a liar and they don't know how to get out of things, and you see the way they went about writing these articles, it's absolutely hilarious. And the only thing that I have to keep questioning is, you get paid for this? You get paid for this? You have connections because this is how you act? Like, these articles pretty much, how can I put this? You can compare them to someone who played the game, couldn't get a feel for the game, and just decided to rage quit. That's what this is. So let's get started, shall we? Over at WCC Tech, so WCCFTech.com. That's right. One Dave Aubrey. Aubrey, you should know better than this. You should. All right? As an adult, you should know better to act this way. All right? But let's get into this, shall we? Gundam Versus review. Gundam, this isn't what I hoped for. There's something about Gundam Versus I really want to love. A soundtrack across years of Gundam history, Gundam mobile suits, both new and old, a variety of stages, big 3 versus 3 battles with robots sliding and dashing around in an acrobatic display. Yep, Gundam sounds right up my street. And then right afterwards says, I can't stand to play this game for another minute. That's paraphrasing, but oh my god. The salt is real, alright? Now here's the thing, alright? Now, because he's going on already, all right, about the history of Gundam, the mobile suit, stuff like that, soundtracks, you would think that this person is a Gundam fan, so he's part of the Gundam franchise. He knows the Gundam franchise. That's what you would think. But then things just take a weird turn. They just do. I don't understand it. Like I said, as an adult, you should be able to conduct yourself in a better manner than this. But we're gonna get into this, okay? It all starts with a 3-stage tutorial that teaches you what button does what individually, pretty much. It says, yes, the thing you could do by standing on a stage and trying each button is the entire tutorial. Well, that's what a tutorial is. If it didn't have a tutorial for newcomers or whatever, you would complain that there's no tutorial mode. They just throw you into the ocean, in the deep end, and you just got to figure it out by hitting buttons, and that doesn't help anybody. You just weren't prepared. You weren't ready. That's what you would say if there wasn't a tutorial mode. But I want you to, the audience, I want you to keep in fact that he's talking about the tutorial mode and how bad the tutorial mode is, okay? Because this is something you can do just by staying on stage and trying to figure out. Remember that part, okay? It says, and it teaches you nothing else. Here's what you need to know about Gundam Versus, please. You're in a large area, your camera automatically locks on to the nearest enemy. False. It doesn't always lock on to the nearest enemy. I cannot tell you how many times I've had an enemy next to me and it doesn't automatically lock on. You have to lock on yourself by hitting the circle button. And sometimes it doesn't lock on to the enemy that's closest to you. I've shown this before. For those who watched my stream last week of Gundam Versus, you saw I played for a number of hours and there was times where it didn't lock on automatically to the enemy. Alright? So that's false. Okay? Let's keep going. You can switch targets with the circle. Alright? X is the jump. Double tapping becomes dash. Square is range, and triangle is up close melee option. Your shoulder trigger buttons can all be different depending on your choice of mobile suits and supports. Okay? So you're telling us with the tutorial, but he goes on more about the tutorial. All right? The problem is the tutorial doesn't actually teach you how to play. It teaches you what button does what, pretty much. That's what the buttons do, and those things are a world away from each other. Actually, they give you that tutorial as a beginner stage for a reason. Okay? And I'm going to explain this later. They don't give you all the fancy stuff right away. They're not going to teach you all that type of stuff. Alright? The way it's built, it's not like a traditional fighting game where you have levels upon levels. For example, Skullgirls, that has a great tutorial. Alright? But that's not how this game is built, simply because it's a brawler. We will talk about this in a bit. Okay? As jumping into any online game will teach you, it says, choose 2 worlds away from another. As jumping into any online game will teach you. Why are you jumping into online games right away? That's the problem right there. You're going to get destroyed if you go through a tutorial and just say, I'm going to jump online without playing the single player mode to get a feel for the Gundam. Why would you do that? Oh, I forgot. You just got finished knocking down the tutorial mode because you said, you can just stand there and try this stuff. Well, if you can stand on the stage and try this stuff, and then you turn around and say, well, you just play online. No, play in the single player mode then. All right? So anyway they put it, the tutorial mode, he's going to make sure that he's going to find a way to attack. He attacked it twice already, okay? So let's keep going. Mind you, I want you to keep this in mind, okay? It says, but of course, that's no reason to give up. You can't just hammer away at some single-player content until, you can just hammer away at some single-player content until you understand what's happening. So, let me get this straight. If you're telling people not to quit, first off, I don't understand why you're telling people to, you shouldn't have to give them that advice. Don't quit because you went through the tutorial. The tutorial's not long. Why would people quit right afterwards? If people bought this game at $60, all right, and they got the tutorial, and they say, oh, I'm going to quit. Mind you, this is the same person just not too long ago that said, I can't stand to play another minute of it. Okay? Remember that. But don't quit. Don't quit. Don't give up. Let's keep going. The single-player content is quite possibly the dullest and most insulting I've seen in the game in recent memory. Now, you have to understand, the reason they do this, all right, like I said, arcade brawler. They gave you the small tutorial to ease you into easy mode, okay? That's what they're doing, single player. But you're complaining about single player now, all right? It says, you thought Street Fighter V was bad. Well, if you thought Street Fighter V was bad, well, I would absolutely adore some crappy voice-acted cutscenes that give me some semblance of story or events happening. Gundam Versus really doesn't care. You get the Ultimate Battle, which is a wave-based survival affair. That's your single-player content. All of it. 15 waves, 30 waves, or 50 waves. Now, we're going to stop right there. Okay? Now, to compare this already, you're saying if you thought Street Fighter V was bad, so you're trying to say that the story mode, that's what you're saying, because, you had some crappy voice acting and character interaction, so you know what's going on. Why are you comparing, mostly online at this point, catered to online, arcade brawler to a traditional fighting game? If you were going to try and compare it to anything, it would be towards Anarchy Reigns when it comes to single-player mode, or let's just say story mode. You could do that. But you didn't do that. So it already tells me that you don't know your genres on how this is built, because we already know that Gundam Versus, they want it to be an esport. However, it's a brawler. That's what it is. It's not a traditional fighter that has already set up standards. Like I said, now if you wanted to make the case when it came to comparing to Anarchy Reigns, then I could agree with you and say, okay, there is enough story mode. There isn't. All right? But they made it known that this is built for online play. This isn't really built for story mode. Now, you would have a point. But you don't now, because you compare it to the wrong thing, all right? Two different genres, all right? No, that's not how it works. Now, let's keep going. Of course, you could always hop into the training room, which in reality, you could use the 15-wave Ultimate Battle instead, because it's not like they fight back. Really, that's what you think. So, they give you tutorial mode, you're upset with tutorial mode, and you say you can learn these things in single player. You get the single player mode, and then you're upset with single player mode, because you feel it's not enough content in single-player mode, even though it's built for online play. You're upset with single-player mode. And then say that when they ease you into the game, because that was your complaint, right? Because, you're not learning anything, but if you jump online right away, you'll get destroyed. So, they give you tutorial mode, they ease you into easy mode, which is the 15-wave horde mode, and then you're saying that the AI bots, they don't fight back. Okay, so, let's put that theory to a test, shall we? Hey everyone, I just wanted to put this theory to a test, because for those who don't know, there is one gaming journalist, and I say this very loosely, Dave Aubrey, who wrote an article on Gundam Versus and said that if you just go into the Ultimate Battle, the 15-wave Ultimate Battle, that instead of, just going to the tutorial, that the AI, the opponents, won't attack. So, let's put that to a test, shall we? So let's go into Ultimate Battle. Ultimate Battle, as you can see right now, is 15 waves. It's easy survival. It means easy mode, okay? So let's look into this. We'll just begin battle, because I'm using the Golf Custom today, alright? We'll just walk in this real quick. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to fight at all. Because, as he said, the opponents do not fight back in easy mode, 15 wave custom. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go forward. Oh, look, there's opponents. Let me just stand here. Let's see if they attack me. Now, see, I can attack these little things right here if I wanted to. All right. Oh, did I just get attacked? I thought they don't fight back. Let's just second wave. Let's see how far it takes. Let's go to like wave 5 or 6, all right? We'll see what happens. All right, look, more mobile suits. Oh, they're fighting back. I did not expect that. And they're dashing. If I just chase. All right. I could boost too if I wanted to. All right. Oh, did I miss? But I can shoot them. They will fight back, as you can see. Come on. Oh, did he just swing at me and miss? Come on. Just wanted to get over here real quick. Oh, did one just hit me because they locked on finally? And now it wants to run. But if I shoot it, see? If I keep shooting it, get out of here. These are the dummy ones. Now, of course, not all of them are like this because you have to remember, as the waves go on, it's supposed to get harder. What's that? Are these? Am I being shot? Wait, there's a Gundam right there. Let's go to an actual Gundam. Let's see if it fights. Oh, look. Yeah. I'm just going to keep walking. It's at a level of difficulty, of course, because of the fact that, you know, it is easy mode. So they don't want you to take too much damage. However, you can at any time shoot them, attack them, and they will fight. Look, they're fighting back now. It's built this way because it's easy mode. Did you even play this game? I mean, I'm just wondering because, of course, I'm giving you, you know, it's chopped up footage, but I'm giving you some examples just to show you they do fight back. If you stand in one spot, you can't sit here and tell me, oh, well, it's just like training mode. No. They're going to shoot back at you, and they're going to attack you, all right? If you just stand there, and that was the entire point of me doing it, walking up to them and seeing what's going on, you have to understand they are easing you into it, so it's easy mode, which means the opponents won't attack you as much as on normal or hard mode or whatever. Boss battle, yeah. You want some fights? Go into boss mode. Just fight the bosses, and watch how they stalk you. The fact is, you have to understand that you're not taking difficulty into exception here, all right? And that's going to go into the second part of this video, okay? Because you have to understand, people who are beginners or even casual at this game, this is the baby steps that they're giving. They're hand-holding you to get into this. So you're complaining about the tutorial. You complain about the easy mode in single-player mode because it doesn't have story when the game has made it very well known. It's not a story-type game, but okay. All right, these are your complaints so far. Shall we keep going? All right. The meat of Gundam Versus is on its online battles, where you can play 1v1, 2v2, 3v3 against people from around the world. Now, we know this because I just told you a number of times that this game is tailored to online play. Online, that's it. They've made it known from the beginning, okay? All right. Now, it says, good luck finding anyone playing those large games, though. The matchmaking in Gundam Versus varied from finding games instantly to having a connection timeout. But regardless how many players are in your room, it's still the same game. Oh my god. Okay, let's get into this. Now, for those who watched me last week, when I played Gundam Versus for hours, alright, not one time did I have a connection drop. So I'm wondering, are you playing on Wi-Fi? Where do you live that this is happening? That there's just these constant connection drops? I'm just wondering. And how many times did you play online? Because as far as I'm concerned, if you're already complaining about tutorial and saying, I don't need tutorial, I'm just going to jump into single-player mode, then you play a little bit of single-player mode, it's like, wait, they're not even fighting back. Let me jump online, and then you get obliterated online. It almost makes me feel as though you didn't take the time out to learn the game before you wrote this review. Okay? But connection drops, I haven't had any problems whatsoever, connection drops. You guys and girls saw me play this on stream, on Twitch, all right, for hours, and had no problems whatsoever. And this was after the 1.06 update, I believe. So, I don't see the problem. But let's keep going. It says, of course, there's more to battles than just going up to the enemy and smacking them away at triangle until they die. Double tapping directions, the D-pad, quick dash, which cancels melee attack, opens up a world of fake outs and new combo opportunities. And just like a fighting game, each mobile suit's unique abilities come into play here. You can mix your support and other abilities. Into your combos, and luckily you'll be able to know if you are in range by the lock-on reticle at all times. The yellow reticle means they're out of range, while the red is in range, and the thicker red means that they're in range for melee combat. It says, but no matter how much I love the idea of robots flying around the ballerina, and no matter how much I adore Iron Blood Orphan's emphatic opening playing while I do battle, it says, I can't stand Gundam Versus. Let's stop right there. You went on earlier to bag on the tutorial, which teaches you all of this stuff, okay? Everything that you're saying in your article, you've taken from the tutorial. So the tutorial's trash, you don't need to learn it, but I'm going to tell you what you need to know, even though you're taking it directly from the tutorial. Because they teach you how to dash, they teach you all this stuff. So if the tutorial is worthless, and you're saying that, because that's what your claim, it's worthless, and then a good majority of your article is the tutorial, wouldn't that mean that your article is worthless? I'm just saying. But let's keep going, okay? I'm just saying. Let's just keep going. The Gundam mechs never really feel like they're doing what you want them to do. Controls feel so incredibly messy. Really? What are you doing? Are you boosting up first and then deciding to move? Because there's times where I can feel... I can agree at times where there's times you feel as though you're moving a certain way and the mech doesn't move that way. But if you know how to move and you're dashing forward, left, and right, like I said, in the video footage I showed you, I was just playing around. I wasn't taking it seriously. Why should I? You know what I mean? I don't see where you would have such a problem playing. I don't see how it's clunky or messy. I don't understand this. Even as a newcomer, I don't see how you would have a problem with this. If you go through the tutorial and take your time, as you said, in training mode, you can learn these things. Tutorial, training mode, and an easy mode. But you knocked all those down, didn't you? Okay. Not to mention, it says, to put your guard on, it requires you to press down and then up. Now, let me stop this real quick, because he does go on to say that there's a dedicated button for switching a character that you lock onto, but not for blocking. I'll talk about this. Down and up can be, for some people, it can be quite cumbersome. I can see that, especially if you're in the flow of battle and you're dashing left or right, and then you try to stop on a dime, and then you try to block. Sometimes it doesn't happen. As we know, there's some Gundams that are very OP when it comes to blocking, as opposed to other Gundams that are pretty much there's no point in blocking. There's none. Just keep dashing, and hope you don't run out. You know what I mean? That's how it is at times. Especially depending on the feel of the battle, the flow of the battle. You may not have time to block, depending on what it is, unless you know your opponent's movements. There's a lot of strategy involved in this game, and exactly knowing when to strike, as opposed to just randomly hitting buttons, hoping that it hits something. That's not how it works. So for you to say that block doesn't work, yes, block works, but it also depends on the mechanism that you're using, all right? For those who watched me, was it on Twitch last week when I played, I started with a fight stick, and I felt bulky, I felt clunky, I felt like a tank, I felt like I was getting nothing done. I switched in midstream. You saw me switch in midstream to a pad, and all of a sudden, I was free-flowing and moving all over the place. I had no problem with it. So it also depends on the comfort level of the player as well. So to sit here and say that it's just clunky and it just doesn't make any sense or rhyme or reason, that's absolutely false. Let's keep going, shall we? It says, it doesn't help that even though these are supposed to be several ton monstrosities, you have to understand, I'm reading this from quite a distance. They all have the same bloody hit stun animation where it looks like they have a cramp in their leg and they can't stretch it out. Actually, the hit stun animation, which is shocking, is going to tense you up, all right? So yes, you're going to stiffen as a board if you're shocked. That's what happens when the hit stun animation. Same thing like if you decide to stick your finger in a socket, a wet finger in a socket or a fork in a socket, guess what? If you get shocked, you're going to tense up. That's what happens in real life. So guess what? The Gundams are doing the same thing. They're tensing up. That's what happens. But you decide to say it's like a big cramp instead of actually understanding the anatomy of a person. The anatomy of, it's not even just about the Gundams. It's simple logic. You get shocked, you tensed up. That's what happens. A big shock. I don't understand how you try to make fun of this, but whatever. Let's keep going. It says that Gundam Versus feels cheap. I absolutely disagree, because everything you said so far, I've disagreed with. And you've been caught lying. It says it feels like a Gundam game because Gundam fans haven't had one in a while and will buy anything. Wow. So, you piss all over the game, you piss all over the mechanics, you piss all everything, alright? And then you piss on the fan base. But you're a Gundam fan. You almost sound like an elitist that can't play this game. They say that we'll buy anything. So, we haven't had a good Gundam game in a long time. So, Gundam Breaker 3, not a good game? Not a good game? Matter of fact, did you play this one? Did you play this one? Huh? Did you? Because you talk about dialogue and wanting interaction. This one, all right? But you probably haven't played that, have you? It's amazing how you will sit here and your hatred for the game went from, oh, I wanted to play it, to I'm disappointed, to I hate this game and I hate its fan base because they'll buy anything. That's absolutely disgusting. You understand that you are insulting your audience by saying that, right? You understand that? Again, maturity. Where is it at? I'm just trying to figure this out. But there's more. There's more. It says, after pissing on the game, pissing on the fan base, pissing on all this, sure, there are loads to enjoy if you want to go over every generation of Gundam and play with them against people online. So there's loads to enjoy of the game. So you piss on the game and then say, oh yeah, by the way, it is enjoyable if you like doing this. And playing with every Gundam and every favorite Gundam and playing with people online when the game is built to play online. Okay, so pretty much what you're saying is there's nothing wrong with this game. Okay, but here's the thing. There are much better games available for you to spend your time in, and you should demand better than this from a franchise you love. Okay. Gives Gundam Versus a 5. Now here's the thing. For you to say that, after all the trashing that you did, after taking a good majority of your article and pretty much copying it from the tutorial, which you hate, and made it seem like yourself, the tutorial's bad, but this is what you need to know. It's amazing, all right, Aubrey, that this was even greenlit. I don't understand how you felt as though this was, okay, like I said, it comes off as a screeching fan who's upset that they can't play the game. You didn't take time with the tutorial. You didn't take time in single player mode. Did you go through all the waves? I mean, no, seriously, did you go through all the single player waves? Did you go through them all? Because it sounds like you didn't. You just skipped that. You went to online. You got bodied online. And you complained about the mechanics. Only one I really agree with you with here is the blocking mechanic. They could do better. They could. But given that the fact that it's a brawler, I put it like this. Instead of complaining about how the game is clunky and all these type of things and getting a feel for the game and actually taking your time and playing the game and practicing at the game to get better, I'm wondering if you've just never decided to play the game for the confines that it's in. You know, this is what they give you. This is how you play it. This is how you should play it. They literally ease you into this. I don't understand how it's this hard. Now, if you're losing, okay, then you're losing. But I think you should learn how to play before you decide just to start bagging on mechanics. Of course, we can look back in hindsight after playing and say, okay, they can fix this, they can fix this, they can fix this. Yeah, we can do that. I'm sure we can have a number of suggestions that this game deserves, you know? But for you to sit here and say that this game is bad, you will not play another minute of it, but don't give up after the tutorial, it's contradicting every time. It just is. Sure, the game is enjoyable if you want to play it this way for online, and all, that's what the game's built for. It's wow. And then you went as far as to insult a fan base because you don't like this game. Is, like I said, immaturity. Can't take you seriously. Can't. But let's move on to the next one, shall we? Kotaku. And you're like, oh, here comes Kotaku. I know. From one Heather Alexandra, all right? Apparently, all right, Gundam Versus buries a good game under a ton of unlockables, all right? It says it's too much. It literally says too much choice. Too much choice. Never thought I'd hear today that there would be too much choice. That's as bad as someone saying, what, free DLC? I'm going to cancel my pre-order. Yeah, that's the days we're getting into now. It says, giant robots are awesome, and Gundam Versus has some of the best. It says, but can a game offer you too many options? Heather takes a look in this critical video. Now, of course, I'm not going to watch the video. I'm not going to show you the video. However, I will read the transcript on how bad this review is. That's right, because again, getting caught in lies is something that people like to do, it seems. So, let's do this, shall we? Gundam Versus is a fast affair full of laser swords, dashes, and sudden death. The game focuses on arcade battles, you hear that? Arcade battles, alright? Between giant robots called mobile suits. These battles take a handful of minutes to complete. It says, Gundam Versus is a massive game, but that isn't because of a large game world or sprawling narrative. Instead, the game drowns players in a sea of choices that overwhelms and ultimately paralyzes. Now, I feel that's absolutely wrong, but let's keep going. It says, choice often feels like one of the most important selling points for a game in open world games. In open world games, studios boast about the scale of their games and worlds. They compare map size to see which game has more. It says Assassin's Creed or Fallout pack their worlds with countless trinkets, quests, and side activities. Choice is a cornerstone in narrative as well. Mass Effect is famous for tracking player decisions, while experiences like Heavy Rain were sold on their ability to adapt to a player's decision. Games love choice. Players love having choices, but Gundam Versus is just too much. We're going to stop right there. Okay? Did you just compare size to a game? Alright, as Gundam Versus, as you've already said, it's an arcade game, an arcade fighter, brawler, alright? Online. Did you just compare it to Fallout? Did you just compare this to the Mass Effect? An open world? The game's not an open world game. It's not. Alright, you are confined to a specific space. They have, reticles, these little red lines that are around. That means that's out of bounds. You can't go any farther. That's as far as they're letting you go. Because it's a brawler. You can only have but so much space. You're not going to have that much free will. And then you go on to compare it to Heavy Rain that adapts to player choices. And it's like, wait, this is not a narrative game. It's not. So you're literally comparing a story-driven game to Gundam Versus. Alright? And then trying to say it's the overall scope of choices and decisions. Because you're feeling so far that there's too many Gundams on the roster. Okay. Versus models itself like a fighting game, like I said, brawler, and has over 90 playable mobile suits. The character select screen is a daunting tangle of possibilities full of fan-favorite Gundams as well as obscure characters. Couldn't be more wrong, but okay, let's keep going. All right. From a design standpoint, balancing nearly 100 units is nearly impossible. The game acknowledges this by marking certain suits as higher quality, granting them access to special abilities. You are so wrong with that. You are. But let's keep going, okay? Because I'm going to explain this. Oh my god. Okay. When you're defeated in Gundam Versus, you lose a portion of resources. The better suits are worth more resources. That's true. It says they are destroyed, players are quickly pushed to the brink of defeat. Yes, the higher the Gundam suit is and you die, the lower your continues go. Yes, it takes out a good portion of your resources for you to continue on. It does. So the lower your Gundam is, alright, then that means you have more resources to continue. But we're talking about tiers at this point, which we will get into, okay? Alright? So I said you have to decide whether whether or not you want to use higher value suits but risk faster resource drain, or do you use basic units and hope you outplay your enemies? All right. Now look, the tier list for this game since the 1.06 update has been completely wrong. All right. There's not that much of a tier list now. You have maybe 2 suits on the A list, a couple in the B, and about 20 in the C list. That's it. But anybody who has any type of skill in this game, you know that higher rank suits, higher tier suits mean nothing. They mean nothing at this point, especially when it comes to the DLC. Because for those that don't know, a lot of suits were nerfed not too long ago, okay? So the DLC that you actually paid for, actually some of them, those DLC suits, are trash tier. They are, okay? Some of them are. But if you know how to work the suit right, it doesn't matter. For example, this woman right now, all right, Miss Alexandra, I can play her online right now, and I can give her Hot Scramble, let's just say. All right, pre-order DLC, Hot Scramble. Use Hot Scramble. I will use the Golf Custom, and I will make sure that I beat you. It's that simple. Because it comes down to skill, not just tiers. This is what we call, in the fighting game community, for those who know, tier whoring. That's what this is right now. That's exactly what you're explaining right now. All right? So for you to sit here and say that, well, these Gundams, there's some of them, they've made it known that all these Gundams aren't playable because of their tiers. No, that's not how it works. Not at all. All right? You may have to work a little harder, but no, that's not how it works. Anybody can be beat with any Gundam. It depends on how you play. So, again, I'm not trying to hear this, okay? But let's keep going. It's not like these Gundams have a rating to this point where, almost like you're playing like Madden or something where they tell you the overall. No, they just give it a 500, a 400, a 300, or whatever, all right? Of course, 500 is the max. But like I said, that only goes from, like I said, your continues if you lose. That's how much portion is taken away from you. So, let's keep going, shall we? In addition to having to keep track of strengths and weaknesses, countless characters, players can unlock support characters to summon in battles, and different pilots for their robots by playing specific mobile suits and gaming experience points. Level up one mobile suit enough, and you might be able to unlock a new support, an extra decal to slap on your mech, or even a new character to provide color commentary during matches. Gundam Versus has plenty of potential robots to level and items to grind for. The scale makes it difficult to know what to do. The scale makes it difficult to know who you should level up, what the unlocks are, and everything. So pretty much what you're saying is that it's very hard to track things. As more, it says, at any given point while playing Gundam Versus, players will be tracking character stats, monitoring experience points, tracking resources during battles, and looking forward to the next milestone or unlockables. It's so daunting that the average player, it says, will have no idea where to start. Alright? You'll have no idea where to start. And this is a lie, okay? It says, the back catalog of unlockables and wide range of suits means you might spend more time at the character select than in battles. Gundam Versus' interesting metagame of unit selection and resources management is buried under a mountain of fluff choices with no particular consequence. It confuses more for better. Now, let me tell you this. This is an absolute lie. Because, again, we're going to test this theory out. Let's see exactly how the menu looks for Gundam Versus when it comes to Gundam skill trees and unlockables. Hey, once again, I am back to test another theory of another journalist from Kotaku, Heather Alexandra, who says that this game has a problem. It's hard to keep track of how the skill trees go in this game. So, what it says in the article, in addition to having to keep track of strengths and weaknesses of countless characters, players can unlock support characters to summon in battles and different pilots for their robots by playing a specific mobile suit and gaining experience points. Level up one mobile suit enough, and you might be able to unlock a new support, an extra decal to slap on your mech, or even a new character to provide color commentary during matches. Gundam Versus has plenty of potential robots to level and items to grind for. This scale makes it difficult to know what to do. So, it's hard for you to understand how to unlock things because she goes on about how at any given point in Gundam Versus, the players will be tracking their character stats, monitoring their experience points, tracking resources during battles, and looking forward to the next milestone unlockable. It's so daunting that the average player will have no idea where to start. Really? Okay. So, for those who have not played this game, because she goes on about how it's not catering to casuals on how to find out how to track your. You can see versus play, mobile suit, briefing room settings, add-on, etc. So, let's go into the mobile suit category. Oh wait, what's that? Do you see where it says MS development tree? Because that's where you want to go for your development tree. Alright? Literally, one click down, one click over, 3 down. You click on the button, just pick a Gundam. As you can see, it doesn't matter what Gundam you pick, it doesn't matter what you're on. It tells you right there the skill tree for unlockables. As you can see, I'm only level 12 right now with the Golf Custom, alright? But, as you can see, I've unlocked all the other stuff. As you play during your time, you will get more experience points. Your GP, see that in the top right corner of your GP? You get that as you play in waves in the Horde mode. For you to sit here and say that it is hard to find out where the skill tree is, how to track stats and all this type of stuff, no, look, I'll click on this Gundam. I haven't played with this Gundam yet. I haven't played with the MS. As you can see, it tells you right there in the skill tree exactly all the stuff that you can unlock as you play along to unlock with GP. And as you can see, I got a lot of GP. So if I want to play with this game, I can get to right now. I can get to level 7 with this MS and unlock stuff. You know what I mean? But by the time I get to level 7, it would give me even more GP to unlock all the rest of the stuff. It doesn't take much to do these things. It goes by level, not as much as GP to unlock. So as you can see, when players, if anything, they're only looking at their level. They're not looking at their GP or how to track any other stats. There's no other stats to track. There isn't. Doesn't matter who you go to. There's no other stats to track. So it doesn't matter. Okay? So I don't know, once again, where they're coming up with this. Alright? It really doesn't make any sense on what's going on. Now, of course, if you had a specific mobile suit, because she goes on about how, there's so many suits and you don't know what to pick, that's why they have this. As you can see, I only have 3 right now. But, of course, you get top 6 of your favorites that you want to play with. As you can see, I went to level 20 with the Death Scythe. All right, started with the Golf, and I'm working on the Crossbones. All right, full cloth. Like I said, I don't play this game much, but it goes to show you that when they're writing these articles, how fast they can be, or exactly how much experience they have when playing the game. To say that this could confuse anyone, literally, this is the main menu. This right here is the main menu. Information, you go down, play, okay, there's your battles and you're all fighting. Here's your mobile suit setup. Here's your development tree. To say that it's not catered to casuals, that it will be hard to find, is absolutely ridiculous. Everything is filed correctly. You can have your favorite mobile suits. You can have your favorite secondary strikers. You can set it all up. I don't understand where you feel as though this is too hard to understand. That is what's going to confuse the average player. Tabbing down, tabbing over. Apparently that's what you're going to spend more time doing than actual battles. Are you serious? They say lies. These are absolute lies. Once again, I'm not upset that you're lying, but all you're doing is exposing yourself and tells me that you haven't spent time playing this game. Literally, your entire article is about choices. You don't talk anything about combat like the other guy did, he was absolutely wrong. Obviously, he didn't play the game really. All right, he only played a little bit and then just wrote this ranting article. But for you to sit here and say that there's too many choices in this game, because that's what the basis of this article is. That's what you're basing this entire game off of. Too many choices. When a lot of Gundam fans are saying, no, we need more choices because where's Burning Gundam? There's a number of Gundams that are missing from this game. Maybe they'll DLC you. We've already heard that there's talk that Gundam, given, it's overseas, and being ported over here, there's going to be at least $50 worth of DLC coming. I don't understand why you feel as though there are not, there's too many choices, and it's their fluff. Have you played with each Gundam to say that each mobile suit is fluff? Have you? I'm wondering. To say something like this, because it sounds like you didn't play it all. If your base of your article when it comes to choices is there's too many choices, and then you turn around and say there's all this fluff, how do you know it's fluff if there's too many choices for you to play? You admit it yourself. There's too many choices for you to even get around. So you didn't play with every Gundam. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what's fluff or what's not. And the only way you find that out is by playing with each Gundam. Stop looking at the tier list, because that's what you did. You looked at a tier list and said, okay, this is it. There's more. In trying to please as many fans as possible and offer a broad spectrum of choices, Gundam Versus actually locks out a majority of casual players by burying them under a mountain of content. You can pick your favorite Gundams. This game is built for Gundam fans. So guess what? You already know going in, given the roster, who you want to play as. Alright? When I started this, I started up as Death Scythe. That's the Gundam I wanted to play as. That was the immediate Gundam I went to. I didn't have to worry about all these other Gundams just yet. Then, as you finish, playing with Death Scythe, you start playing with all these other Gundams to see what's going on. You start watching other players, the way they play. You start seeing other Gundams, the way they're used. It's not about there's not enough variety. There's a great amount of variety, all right? You just didn't take the time out to find out what's best for you. That's what it is. And in order to do that, you have to spend the time to play with Gundams. That means you have to go into battle. That's right. So for you to say that you're going to spend more time at a skill tree than actual battle is absolutely wrong. Absolutely. Alright? But let's keep going. It says Gundam Versus actually locks out a majority of casual players by burying under a mountain of content. It says exciting combat hardly makes up for it's impossible to disconnect from the game's bloated progression system. How is it bloated? You've seen on the screen. All you have to worry about is leveling up. As you play through hordes, in horde mode, that's how you level up. Later, you can come along and say, okay, I'm going to unlock this, I'm going to unlock this, I'm going to unlock this. That's it. What is so bloated about it? I don't understand. How is it, seriously, to say that it's bloated progression system when you see the system, if you pick a Gundam and you pick it, you play it, and you're leveling up, all those things unlock. How is it bloated? It's not bloated if you're picking a specific Gundam. And then if you decide you want to play with one Gundam, okay, you play for a little bit. Okay, I don't like that Gundam. I'm going to play with a different Gundam. It gives you variety. It gives you choice. It keeps you playing. That's the entire point. Because it's supposed to be about fun. I forgot that doesn't matter. It says, players will hardly ever feel like they're making meaningful progress thanks to the sheer size of it all. Really. Because we see a lot of tournaments already being played in Gundam Versus. What do you mean that they're not making progress? As you saw in the video, I maxed out the Death Skype. How did I not make progress with that? How did I not? I played online. How did I not make progress with that? I'm just, okay. All right. It's a mecha action feast that I love playing after I spent 20 minutes wondering who I should play as next. You spent 20 minutes deciding that instead of saying, hey, maybe I'll just try one. I'll just throw it out, throw it out there and find out. That's your choice. That's your fault. That's not the game's fault that you spent 20 minutes. That's like me playing Street Fighter. Again, if we're going to start comparing it to traditional fighting games like the other guy did, okay? If I play Street Fighter and see all these characters, okay, who do I want to pick? Okay, I played that person. Well, who am I going to think I'm going to play next? Do your research. For a journalist, that's part of your job to do research. You don't have to just look at a tier list. Look at some videos. Oh, I forgot. You guys are so against YouTubers. I forgot about this. Seriously, watch some gameplay. If you have any type of, inquiry, you can always say, hey, to reach out to the community. Oh, I forgot. You guys don't like to reach out to the community either because you think we're all bad. So you're literally by yourself trying to figure this out. So you don't like the tutorial. You don't like the training mode. You don't like the single player mode. You don't like online, even though it's built for online. You don't. Oh my God! You don't like the roster. It's amazing how people will just find anything to complain about. Now we're complaining about too much choice. That's what we're complaining about, and we're going to compare it to Fallout. We're going to compare it to Heavy Rain, and we're going to compare it to Mass Effect in terms of scale. That's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely. This is an arcade brawling fighter. An arcade, meaning if you went to an arcade, guess what? You wouldn't get story mode really in an arcade. I mean, those days are over. So the industry has made it known, we're not going to give you arcade. And you, the media, have backed that. Now that there's no story mode in an arcade brawler, now it's a problem. Oh my God. Okay, look. I'll put it like this. Since it seems that these two writers, all right, Mr. Aubrey and Miss Alexandra, how about this? And as you can see, I'm not mad at you, but you have been caught in lies and caught the fact that you haven't really played this game. How about this? How about you two team up, all right? I understand the media, you guys probably want to get to know each other anyway. How about you two team up online against me and a partner of my choosing? Maybe you can learn something. How about that? I'm not mad at you. I'm not going to destroy you or whatever. No. How about you can learn something from the game and some of the players? This is an invite to you, all right? Yeah, it's a challenge, but it's an invite. And you want to know why? Because that's what gamers do. We play the games, we challenge each other, and afterwards, we laugh and joke about it. But it seems like both of you had to use a lot of lying, and one just absolutely just went off the handle and raged and pissed all over the community, while another sits here and says, I get stuck in the menu section. That's the level of competence we're having right now when it comes to the gaming media. Yeah. So if you can't handle those type of opinions, which is crazy, after being shown to the audience here that you've been lying, it's absolutely ridiculous. I know some of you are going to say, well, it is Kotaku. It doesn't matter what it is. This is what we've talked about time and time again. All right? Competency when it comes to gaming journalists. This is your job. All right? You understand it. This is your job. You get paid to do this. And you're going to sit here and you're going to complain and you're going to cry and you're going to yell and you're going to yell at the community and blame the franchise and blame the people who love the franchise. It's everyone's fault but yourself, it seems, every time. Like I said, you two online, oh, I forgot, this guy has connection drops, right? But you should be fine because there isn't really that many connection drops, especially if you make a private room, unless you unplug on your own because you're trying to rage quit. But yeah. Anyways, how about this? You two and your own team, 2v2, versus me, an opponent of my choosing. I'm sorry, a partner of my choosing. Anytime, any place. All right? If we can set up if you want, hell, we can get Bandai involved if you want to. If you want to do it face-to-face or online. It is up to you. Either way, my offer stands. Until then, please, next time you decide to write an article, don't get caught in your lies. All right? I will talk to y'all later. Y'all be safe. Until then, too easy again. Like I said, both articles I will put in the description field so you can read it for yourself. Okay? Like I said, I've been reading this from quite a distance, so it's very small. Anyways, I'll talk to you then. Y'all be safe. I'm out.